just got done passing a unanimous motion about mental health. Now, technically, I'm supposed to talk about immigration today, and I will be, but they're bridged. Some are going to say, by coming here and presenting myself, that I'm xenophobic. I'm not. There's already some of you nodding your heads, passing judgment, and you don't even know me, or my background. I am not. Some are going to say the term we should use is asylum seekers. Some would say illegal immigrants. I think we could get stuck in the mud arguing terminology, and that's not my point today. However, I will just point out on August 3rd, 2023, U.S. Court of Appeals and Ninth Circuit did make a ruling indicating that those coming across the southern border would not be ineligible for asylum. Asylum is a very, very specific process. But I would rather focus our attention today on some of the needs of the Salle County. There is a strong component of mental health problems that I see on a regular basis. It breaks my heart to walk around Ottawa and see people sleeping on the sidewalk by the movie theater. There's people who sleep outside the police department. There's people in Washington Park and Lincoln Douglas Park on a regular basis, and they need help. In my own church, there was a gentleman this autumn who came up to me, and he said, "Could you help me?" I'm not going to mention names and specifics, but this man had a strong mental health component, and he was homeless. And I knew the church was trying to work with him. I thought I would try to. For the record, I just retired as a school teacher. Found myself a little available time. Thought I might try to help this gentleman. I needed help, so I went to the Ottawa Police Department, and there was a police officer, very empathetic, very professional. He became involved. Church, myself, a police department. The problem was too big. We tried. Everyone involved had a sincere interest in trying to do something, but we were unsuccessful. By the end of the week, this gentleman had been arrested twice, back-to-back days, for stealing food from a restaurant. Apparently, jail was a better option than living at a skateboard park in Ottawa. He was living under the skateboard ramp. He said it was getting cold and he was hungry. What does that get to do with immigration? Whatever term you want to use, let's put that aside right now. We have people in this county who are hurting and they need help. But there's limited resources. There's limited assets. And I'm sure there's a finite budget. I would like to solve all the problems, but I'm realistic. So today I'm here asking you to prioritize. Where are the priorities of the board? For me, I'm more concerned about a U.S. Navy veteran who was living in a skateboard park under a ramp who said to me, "I'm cold and hungry." Now, when we can solve all of our problems, and there's still some money left over in that budget, by all means, let's come back and revisit this issue and talk about what we can do to help out the problems in Guatemala. But for now, I'm more worried about Green Street, Guthrie Street, Gary Street. I'm worried about the people that live in this county who are hurting, and they need help. To me, that's not xenophobia. I also want to point out, with so many people coming into the country, potentially into our county, there are legitimate security concerns that ought to be addressed. This area has 3 nuclear power plants: LaSalle, Dresden, Braidwood. We have 2 locked-in dams at Marseilles and Starved Rock. This is not the time to be backing down on security concerns. I'm uncomfortable to say this on record, but war is looming. Yesterday, 26 missiles and drones were shot down by the U.S. Navy by a hostile nation. we need to address some security concerns. I'd like to remind each of you that on 9/11, 19 immigrants, visitors, foreigners, whatever term you want to use, with passports and documents who were known by the FBI, executed and planned 9/11. Imagine 8 million coming across the border whose whereabouts are unknown, what potential they might have. During COVID, how many of you had to wear a mask? How many of you were not happy about it? How many of you were happy? But the point is, we were all masked up. For my own job as a school teacher, the governor of Illinois required every Illinois teacher to produce documents to prove that we were vaccinated. Children coming to school every year had to produce documents they've been vaccinated. Is anyone vetting the people coming to LaSalle County on these buses? Have they been vaccinated? Has their criminal background been checked? It's a fair question. It's not xenophobic. I support legal immigration. I'm proud of people who are coming to this country and say, I'll go through that process. It's a 7-year process. It's it's a lot of work. You have to study the Constitution, study U.S. history. You swear an oath of fidelity and loyalty to the Constitution. I support that. And if you come to this country and you come through that process, welcome to America. The American dream is yours too. But we are a country of laws. We are a country of law and order. Or are we? So ladies and gentlemen, I will conclude by reminding you that as we have gone through a medical moment with the pandemic, several of our hospitals have been closed. St. Margaret's, IDCH, we're down to St. Elizabeth. I want to know if there's a plan. Are we vetting for medical purposes, for security purposes? And remind each of you that everyone swore an oath to the Constitution. Now I will ask, any decisions you make today, fulfill your oath to the Constitution. It is a duty. It is not an option. Thank you for your time.